Belly Up Sports presents the 3rd and 10 podcast, your home for all things New York football Giants. Here are your hosts, Nathan Nguyen and Brian Germanaro. Take it away, fellas.
The boys were so close. They were so close to beating Duke, yet they fell short. But the important thing to notice between the Duke versus Siena 1 versus 16 matchup is anyone can be beaten, literally. We saw that with that game. We saw it with High Point, Wisconsin. Just overall, man, March Madness is something special, right, Brian? I tell you, man.
It's the best. There is nothing like it in the sports world, the sports calendar.
Sir.
It always will be the best sporting event on the face of the planet, without question.
For 1 month, everyone just unites together, watches the games.
Yeah, I think I saw like a stat somewhere. Like this is like one of the most least productive times of the year, like job-wise. Like production goes down because people are just blowing off work and watching games and stuff.
Yeah. Well, for my job, I'm the one dealing with the customers who are making
exactly. You're dealing with
entries for March Madness. So
yeah.
There are quite a lot of people that chime in and ask questions and whatnot. So which is fun. It's fine. I enjoy it. But with that being said, welcome again to another episode of the 3rd and 10 podcast. Season 3, episode 86 is now live. I'm your host, Nathan Nguyen, joined by former Siena Alamada. Is that how you say it? Alum. Oh wow, I was way off. Holy crap.
Alma mater is like what I'd say about like when I Siena is my alma mater.
Good morning to you as well, Nate. Hallelujah. Former Siena alum Brian Germanaro. I'll let you start, Brian. What an effort by your boys. For Siena to be up in the first half, I think a lot of people were like, "Oh,
yeah." So I'll run you through that whole thing. So the game started, and me and my friends, like I would just text them and stuff. We're like, "All right, we're gonna get killed today, but hey, it's fun that we made the tournament." And then the first TV timeout came. It was 12-10. I'm like, "Oh, you know what? We gave them a fight in the first couple minutes. You know what? We went to a commercial break up at some point. That's awesome." Then the second commercial break came, and it's like, all right, we're still up. It's only like by 4, but we're giving them a fight. If we can keep this intensity up, we got a shot here. And then all of a sudden, it's okay. Hang on, we're up by 10. We're up by 10 on Duke right now, and then the excitement starts to build. And you go into halftime, and you see it's like, all right, this is the largest deficit Duke's faced all season. This is the most 16 seeds ever been up on a number 1 seed in NCAA tournament history. And then your thoughts kind of start to run wild. It's like I didn't want to say we were going to win because in the back of my mind, it's like, all right, this is still a very good Duke team. We could have just played a really good first half and just they'll just come out in the second half and blow us out. But even then, even when you started to notice that Siena was really tired and the shots weren't falling the way they used to and they weren't getting rebounds, they still were fighting. Like Doty put down a few threes to kind of hold off. Duke did not take control of that game until the back-to-back missed dunks. That's when I knew we had lost. When they did the first dunk, they missed it. Then the second one came in and he banked it again. And then Duke got a fast break. And then they scored. That's the moment I'm like, okay, yeah, the magic's gone. We're going to do it. But hell of a run by the boys. I'm extreme. In the moment, I was heartbreaking and disappointing. But the further out I get from it, the more and more I'm like, man, that was incredible. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world right now to watch the way Siena was able to put themselves on the map, be the national storyline. And it's kind of my phone's blowing up and people are like, oh my God, you went there. This is crazy. I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, it's special, man. I mean, if you guys would have won it, y'all would have been the 3rd 16th seed ever to be a number 1 seed.
Yeah.
We know about the UMBCs of the world and whatnot.
FIU, but
exactly. But this was
outside of those two. This is probably the best of 16 seeds ever look against the 1.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
It's the third best. Doubt. It's the 3rd best performance ever. I think I could confidently say that.
And the special thing is all 5 starters played pretty much all 40 minutes, which was insane. And for those who don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, again, you guys did not have a bench at all. I think we had a
few injury problems going into the MAC, and then we had one guy who they found out late in the year was ineligible based on like years and stuff, so he couldn't play. So, if those guys are healthy or if that guy is, eligible, maybe we have a little bit more of a bench to go out there and play. But, oh my God, I'm blanking on G-Mac's name right now. I was always call him G-Mac, but he basically is like, if I take my starters out, they're not gonna, keep the same intensity as against Duke. So he was kind of like, you're screwed if you do and you're screwed if you don't. If you take the starters out, then Duke is probably going to, bulldoze their way because it's even more inferior competition. If you leave the starters in, they're going to get gas, and Duke will take advantage of that. So either way, we were, screwed. So I don't take anything on McNamara for not taking his guys out. It's what basically it's like, it's worked all game. Let's just hope they could, keep enough energy in them for X amount of time, and then hopefully by the time they're really gassed, it's either too late in the game for them to come back or the lead's too big.
Yeah, and unfortunately that wasn't the case, or neither was the case.
Yeah, unfortunately the Duke came back. Duke in that second half looked different. They woke up a little bit.
Yeah, but then again, it's like either was it really because they made adjustments and showed out, or was it because Siena was just tired? I honestly think
it's a mix of both, because Duke was going to they changed to a zone defense in that second half, and Siena had just could not figure it out for the life of them.
Damn. Well, overall,
but also at the same time, Siena could never get a run together like they could in the first half, and that's why I think because Duke did switch back to man at one point, and I think if maybe they were a little more rested and not as exhausted, they would have mustered up one more run.
Yeah, just tough way to see your alum go down. But hey, hell of a game. I think, like you mentioned, a lot of the entire country was just excited to possibly see
everyone was Siena fans for the first time. It was great. Yeah, everyone's on our side.
Yeah, I'm right. And it's clear that Duke definitely needs to clean things up before they take on TCU in round 2. I think watching this game, I think a lot of us can agree, Duke isn't going to win the national championship. It's just
if they perform like they did, I think it's kind of like everyone now sees Duke and we hear Duke oh my God, they're unbeatable. They're this, they're that. Watching that game yesterday, it's okay, this Duke team is missing something. If TCU gives them a good fight, they probably could sneak it out.
Exactly. So that was just one game of many that stood out to us, or that we all watched, I should say, yesterday, and we'll break down some of the game. We'll break down some of the games that stood out to us. We won't go through every single game, but there are games going on today as well here for round 1. They won't, as we are recording, it's only a couple of games are slated to start during this time frame. But we'll talk a little bit about the games going on today as well. But other stuff that we'll discuss during the show include the Giants. No news on them specifically.
Well, no, Abdul Carter changed his number.
That's right. To number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah, I saw a few minutes ago. I forgot to mention that. But yes, number 3. I think Malik Neighbors put it best under the comment section on Instagram. He picked some weird numbers, man.
He did. My buddy's even like this is a weird number for defensive end.
51 to 3.
Yeah,
because he didn't wear. What did he wear in college? It was 11. Because 11 is
Phil Simms' number.
Right. That he couldn't choose another number. There had to be another number in the teens.
The first thing I thought of is that video of that guy at the Walmart who rips the shirt off other guy's back. That was Abdul Carter taking it off Russell Wilson.
It's out of all the numbers though, you take his was it 12? Isn't 12 available? Something between 10. I know obviously Contend's retired, but 10 between 10 and 19. I know Winston has 19.
Mm-hmm.
Hodges doesn't have 18 anymore, does he?
He might.
Okay, either way. 17. Dude, 3, for an edge rusher specifically, it just doesn't. Yeah. Whatever. We love you, Abdul. Just again, just weird numbers. But anyways, there is a glaring weakness on the Giants that we need to discuss. Um, and what their plans may be, we will discuss that as well. And then finally, opening day is close for Major League Baseball. It seems like yesterday, we just saw the U.S. fall to Venezuela, which.
Well, almost what? It was Tuesday.
Oh yeah, today's Friday. So 2 days ago, we saw the.
I was like, it really wasn't that long.
It wasn't a long time ago, Nate. Over here, over exaggerating the crowd, but a few days ago, we did see the U.S. fall to Venezuela. A disappointing effort, as at least, by the Americans. But it's all good. The regular season begins for those major leaguers next week. We won't have a bit. Well, we will have a preview episode next week, so keep an eye on that. It won't be crazy, like in-depth division by division like we did last year, but it'll still be fun either way to get everything crammed into just one episode. But yeah, let's start with March Madness, my friend. We just talked about Duke Siena. That was a hell of a game, but an upset that did happen that I'm sure we want to discuss first is High Point versus Wisconsin.
Yes.
Arguably the biggest upset of day one.
Oh, yeah.
Insane. High Point trailed by 8 with just over 7 minutes to go, but outscored the Badgers 18-12 down the stretch. Chase Johnston apparently never made a three-pointer or a shot at three-pointer. A guy who has only shot three-pointers and made them, but has never made a two-pointer this season. Made his first one yesterday. Is that's correct?
That's crazy when you think about it.
Insane.
I had the game on mute, so I wasn't like I had the game on the Seattle game was on at the same time, so I was more focused on that.
I know. I don't blame you.
I did 3 TVs set up, but like that game didn't have sound.
Yes, I guess because Siena obviously had the focus.
Siena got the big TV and got the sound.
There you go. 3 TVs must be nice. But yeah, so the graduate transfer was 0 for 4 on 2-point attempts all season long. Hit the go-ahead layup with seconds left. 3 Panthers players finished with double doubles. Rob Martin with 23 and 10, Terry Anderson with 15 and 11, and Cameron Fletcher had 14 and 11 as well, as the 12th seed took down Wisconsin, who I had winning in the bracket. Obviously, my bracket's already fudged.
Everyone's so. I think ESPN said there's only 10,000 perfect brackets remaining.
And that's gonna go from 10. That's gonna go from 10,000 to like 5,000 by the end of today. I bet you that right now.
I bet you. No, I bet we're done. I bet we're done by the end of I bet there's not a perfect bracket at the end of this.
No doubt. Yeah, Kalshi is probably breathing.
You did yours on Kalshi?
No, I'm just saying I heard because there's like a $1 billion. I've seen it all over social media.
Every single year, people say that. Warren Buffett's been doing it for years. Like if anyone can get the perfect bracket, they'll give $1 billion out. That's nothing new.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people can. How do I say this? Relate. Yes, my goodness, I cannot think of the words today. Can relate. My bracket was screwed the moment Ohio State lost to TCU. That was the first.
Yeah,
game.
that was my first one.
That was yours too. Oh my god! Way to go, Bucks.
That one got half because the problem is those 8 and 9 matchups are so 50-50.
True.
That like
it's I don't know. I was just like, dang. I was making my bracket, and I was just like, okay, this looks good. Like, I got a shot. And then the moment that game finished,
no, that's like, everyone. Everyone's like, all right, this is the year. And then like
on to next year.
It's like 3:00 on the first day. It's like, okay, we're done.
And we're done. All right, and the bracket switched. No, hell of a game by High Point. As they move on, and they were not the only upset that occurred yesterday.
No, we got a bunch. We had a few upsets yesterday. We had VCU over North Carolina, which shout out VCU over. I thought that game was over. I really did. Like I had it off the TV setup. Like that was like a 4th rotating game. Like if there's a commercial, it'll come on, but like I'm not really paying attention to it. And then I look over one point. I'm like, wait a minute, VCU is coming back, and they were like within 5.
Yes, they came down 19 points. Yeah, they came down from 19 points down to beat the Tar Heels in overtime. Apparently this was the largest comeback in round of 64 history, which is pretty impressive. Terrence Hill Jr. hit the go-ahead 3-pointer in overtime and shot a tournament high so far, 34 points on 13 of 23 from the floor, including 7 to 10 from three. So he was slinging it. The Tar Heels collapse was historic. They didn't make a basket over the game's final 7 minutes and 44 seconds, including the end of regulation and all of overtime. So the points they got in OT were from the free throw line. Nothing from the nothing from the field.
Yeah.
And they just made just 12 of 20 free throws. Henry Visar led all UNC scores with 26 points and 10 rebounds, but was not enough to get the job done. So, again, what a collapse by the 6th seed, and hell of a game by VCU. So,
yeah, they played a perfect second half. They made the right adjustments. And it does stink like UNC, like maybe if Caleb Wilson is healthy, maybe UNC is able to keep the pressure on and play a better performance. It's just like it sucks for them to go down right now. But that's on VCU. That's just good coaching right there. To be able to keep your boys in the game down by 19, to be like, you know what, we're still in this, guys. Let's keep your head up and let's go.
And they sure did. And they're moving on. So I will say one game that I was disappointed to see a team go down was BYU. I'm a big fan of AJ DeBonsta. I think a lot of people are. Arguably the number 1 draft prospect coming out this year. Some could argue it's Darren Peterson from Kansas. That's up to you. But the Cougars unfortunately fell to 11th seed Texas 79-71. But it wasn't because of DeBonsta. I'll tell you that. He had 35 and 10. But they just couldn't come back from a 17-point second half deficit. So this was his last college game. But shout out to the Longhorns to getting the job done as well. We just talked about TCU Ohio State. Screw you. The Buckeyes just continue to screw us over. They screwed Brian. They screwed you over.
Yeah, you know what?
In college football and now in the bracket too. So, but yeah, apparently TCU's win immediately busted the most brackets of any first round result, eliminating over half of all perfect brackets in the country.
Well, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's the 50-50 thing. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's all it is.
Yeah, it's. Because I think more 9 seeds have beaten 8 seeds in like the history of the tournament, or at least as of recently. But still, like those are like 2 evenly matched teams. Like they probably could have gone either way. Like a 9 seed could easily be an 8 seed, and an 8 seed could easily be a 9 seed. So it's just kind of like you flip a coin for those matchups.
I should have done that. I would have had a better shot of
probably, yeah.
Correct picks. Let's see what other games occurred yesterday. Texas A&M 63 over the 7th seed St. Mary's Gales, who had 50 points themselves. A result that honestly wasn't expected. St. Mary's leading scorer Paulus Morascas came off the bench, unfortunately, due to illness. And A&M they had a lot of they played a lot of up tempo. Defensive pressure, and they committed or caused 18 turnovers from the Gales, and Rashawn Agee led the way for the Aggies with 22 points on 7 out of 11 shooting.
Yep.
Now it's gonna be the 9th straight game or 9th straight tournament appearance for St. Mary's in which they failed to advance past the first weekend.
See, the problem with St. Mary's is they're a team that's very held up by how good oh my god, how good the
Nebraska's guys.
The what? No, how good Gonzaga is. They're good because Gonzaga is great.
From the conference. Gotcha.
Yes. They're because think about it. I would say 20 years ago, that was a one big conference. That was the one big whoever won that conference championship, that was the team it's in. Now that St. Mary's is giving Gonzaga, who is one of the best teams in the nation for a while, once they're giving them a fight a little bit, it's now kind of even out.
Gotcha. So basically they're getting the respect that they want because of how
dominant Gonzaga's been, and they're putting a fight to Gonzaga every single night. It's like, all right, well, if they're Gonzaga's best fight, they probably deserve to be in a tournament.
I see. Well, I picked them to also win in my bracket, and that obviously did not go well. So yeah, I was also blinded by the fact that they were so solid in the WCC,
Mm-hmm.
but the Aggies from the Big 12, no, Big 10, sorry. Got the no, they're not Big 10. SEC.
Yes.
Holy crap. Today is off to a fantastic start. As from the SEC, getting the job done. And then finally, we had St. Louis over Georgia, 102-77. Unlike the 9-8 matchup between TCU and Ohio State, this was even close whatsoever. The Bulldogs were just terrible the
Yeah.
entire game. So the Billikens moving on comfortably here from round one. And then we had the blowouts, Michigan over Howard. That's all was obvious. Houston over Idaho, 78-47. You had Michigan State, 92, North Dakota State, 67. Gonzaga, 73, Kennesaw State, 64. That was closer than everyone expected, really.
Yeah.
Kennesaw State was down 1 point in the second half, and then Gonzaga just went on a run to just take care of business there. Arkansas 97, Hawaii 78. Darius Acuff had 13 points in the first 13 minutes and just led the way for the Razorbacks. We had Nebraska over Troy, Vanderbilt over McNeese. That game was low-key close between the 5 and 12 seed.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, McNeese for a while there was making Vanderbilt squirm. They're making them squirm like,
just a little bit.
Yeah,
just a little bit. But the Commodores escaping there with a 10-point win. Louisville over South Florida. Another tight game as well. The Cardinals, obviously, without Michael Brown due to injury, and the Bulls pushed them the whole way through before the Cardinals held on to the 4-point win. And then Illinois over Penn by 35. David Merkovich had 25 points and 15 rebounds. And Penn just really never had a shot as the 14th seed. So overall, 4 upsets from day one. And only approximately 14,000 brackets are still perfect. Brian mentioned that number is expected to go down.
I'll be done by today. I bet you it's done by dinner time.
Yeah.
East Coast time.
So, yeah. I think I was gonna say for my bracket. I don't know. I don't even look at my bracket. I forgot how many brackets I have total because I did one on the Underdog app. Shout out to you, Underdog, and 25 on ESPN. So I wonder if any of them are still decently.
I only do one. I did 2 brackets this year. One of them had Siena going all the way, but like I only do one serious bracket.
I had 2 serious ones, and I did the rest of it was just through the random generator thing that ESPN has. So yeah, maybe I know for like half of the ones that were randomly generated, like Siena was like selected over to beat Duke. So
yeah,
at least I got that right. Well, the random generator got that right. I didn't do anything, but hell of a day one of March Madness, my friend. I tell you, hell of a day one, and looking forward to see what day 2 has in store for us. As we are recording this, I think Kentucky is playing.
Kentucky and Santa Clara has tipped off.
Yes.
And it's 14-13 Kentucky with 11 minutes left in the first.
All right. Santa Clara babies. That's close to home. But what games are on your radar for today, my friend? Obviously, Kentucky is going down right now, but are there any games that are going on today that you're looking forward to watching? Or
I'm interested in Alabama versus Hofstra. Like I said this for a while that Hofstra has been like my upset team pick. I want to see like how this young team is going to play against Nate Oates' offense, and how much is their second leading scorer for Alabama's arrest going to affect that team. I think they're going to come out the gate kind of slow, and I'm also interested to see what Miami of Ohio does for a repeat performance after their great performance in the first 4. They're playing a good Tennessee team who beat up on some pretty good teams this year. If you want to make a statement, this is how you do it. Beat Tennessee, and you'll get some respect on your name.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to, for me personally, Iowa and Clemson. They got a guy over there in Iowa named Bennett Sturts, hell of a shooter. 3-point specialist type of guy. Look forward to see if he can carry the Hawkeyes over a Clemson team that's pretty good themselves as the 8th seed. Another one, UCLA and UCF. I'm not sure if he's playing. But Tyler Bilodeau got hurt during the Big Ten tournament
Mm.
against Michigan State. He didn't play it in the against. So he got hurt against Michigan State. He didn't play against Purdue, from what I'm understanding.
Yeah, no,
Um,
he was out.
so yeah, so much is he out for tonight?
I don't know if he's out for tonight, but he was out in the Purdue game.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'll check right now. He is on track to play, so I think that's going to be a big
but
boost for
on
the
track
Bruins.
to play is different than healthy.
True, and he's probably just gonna have to play through the pain. So we'll see how much of an impact that has on them.
But that's the thing. Like, how much is that pain gonna be? Like, all right, it's gonna hold me back a little bit, you know?
Yeah, true. And also Donovan Dent, their point guard, also was hurt. But he got injured in the championship game against Purdue. So
yep.
Yeah. No, is it a championship game? No, it was just it was against Purdue. Which so that'll be it. He's on track to play as well, but those are the 2-star players, so we'll see how that goes against the Knights. And then all the other games, the top seed should take care of business. UConn over Furman, Kansas over CBU.
Yeah, I am very interested to see what Long Island does, because Long Island's a very fun team, and they have like the shark fin thing, which is funny. That's gonna be a storyline going into this tournament. It's like that and stuff. Let's see how they do against a team like Arizona, who I think is gonna win this whole thing.
All right, yeah, favored by 30.5. The Wildcats are, so we'll see. All righty, well. But we'll go from a topic that your boy here doesn't have much knowledge in college basketball, even though, let's be honest, a lot of people just literally just watch March, or they only focus and watch college basketball.
College basketball is only big in March. It starts last week with like the conference tournament games and stuff like that, and then it gets even bigger like this week.
Yeah. Because everyone has their brackets, everyone's like locked into the the 64 teams that are in the tournament, all those things.
Yeah, so. They want the upsets, they want all that, yada yada.
Exactly.
Like, it's very like my sister and her boyfriend like aren't big sports fans, but like they were getting sucked into the Siena game. It was very funny. And
why not?
They're gonna go watch like the pit in like the other room, and they're like, and like my sister's boyfriend was kind of like, I'm kind of locked in right now, and my sister's like, all right, good, because I kind of was too. I watched the whole game.
I love hearing that, man, because it's games, like Siena, where it's like the underdog is like in the fight, and you're seeing it like firsthand.
Yeah, like did you hear the high point? Did you hear their student radio, the broadcast of that?
Oh man, I love that.
What a call! The glass slipper fits. What an absolute great call by that kid. That kid's got a bright future in broadcasting. That's what he wants to do.
Those two guys were outstanding, man. Growing up, for sure, I wanted to be a broadcaster like that. Unfortunately, didn't chase that route. But to see those two guys bring the energy into that broadcast, and seeing their school move on the way they did against a top seed like that, it was not just heartwarming, but just really cool to see two guys, living their dream, trying to work towards their goal, I should say, as well. Make a call like that for their school. So, shout out to them. That's what March is all about. Moments like that. There's no doubt about it. So, yeah. Again, I'd never heard of High Point University until yesterday. So,
just a lot of people probably never heard of Siena University until yesterday. But if you were a fan of this show back in the day when this show first started, it took place on Siena campus.
All of our episodes from season 1 and some of season 2.
Or be in the radio, or be in the Siena radio station. Yep.
Yes, we've come a long way, my friend. You came a long way. You've come a long way as well.
Since then. Well, I don't know. I'm in my bedroom now. In my childhood bedroom.
I will always remember the day that we first met, my friend. I remember you invited me on
my Siena show. My Siena show.
That's right. Yeah. To talk Giants football, and ever since then, you were outstanding. You stood out to me, and then I invited you on to this show when it wasn't named 3rd and 10. I forgot what it was. It was
originally G-Men Corner. That's what it originally was.
That's right.
It was a segment on your other show, your previous show.
Yes.
Richie was
you remember better than I do.
Yeah, it was just a segment, and then it grew from there.
You're damn right, and we've been thriving ever since out here on the 3rd and 10 podcast. So we love it. But yeah, we've come a long way. I tell you that much. But something that hasn't really came a long way. In fact, it's been a problem for quite some time now. Is the Giants' interior lines for both offense and defense. Let's be honest. John Harbaugh's first offseason as Giants head coach has been pretty active. We've apparently signed close to 20 players, whether this was re-signings or just signing for agency, whatever the case may be, since the negotiating window has opened, which is good. We're happy about a lot of signings. You know, Darnell Mooney, of course, Calvin Austin, Greg Newsome, obvious, and then we got the big names. Of course, for the Giants as well. Like Tremaine Edmonds and whatnot. But of course, the most glaring hole on the Giants has yet to be addressed. And no, it's not corner, even though that is a major weakness as well.
Yeah.
But it's
a weakness. It's a weakness to play. Like, we can figure it out internally.
Yeah, that's going to be, I have no doubt in my mind, corner will be addressed whether in the draft or if we sign some sort of veteran.
We kind of did address corner, like not address corner, but we have guys like, Newsome, who is like a low risk, high reward guy. That could work out. Maybe Banks steps up this year. Maybe Phillips steps up this year, A
lot of what ifs, but at the end of the day, it's
a lot of what ifs, but like it's not like it's ignored. It's like, all right, there is something here.
Yeah.
Like you said, the draft is going to come around. I think that's going to change things too.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure if we'll, target a Mansour Delane of sorts at 5, but he is an option if you want to go there. But I mean, we signed cornerbacks. You mentioned Newsome. We did sign Washington as a depth piece from Baltimore. We brought Jason Pinnock back as safety depth there. So the secondary as a whole, we've addressed. Is it's do we feel confident in said position
really.
Group? No, but at least we're trying. We just need maybe just a 1 or 2 more players that we can be like, okay, secondary.
We need like an established corner because like we don't really have one. Like Adebo's our closest, and Adebo's okay. He's fine.
Yeah, he's someone that we all would be comfortable with.
We can rely on Adebo. We just want more from Adebo.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel more comfortable with him as the number 2. So I wish we had like a number 1 type of guy. But
it's kind of
looks like
I feel like it's like Patriots fans, their reaction to the Romeo Doubs thing, where it's like, all right, Doubs is a good receiver, but like that can't be a wide receiver 1. It's like, Adebo is a good corner, but he can't be corner 1.
Exactly. Speaking of which, they have New England. They have Dobbs. They have Boutte.
Keyshawn Boutte's
Williams,
2, Mac Hollins.
Oh yeah, Williams, the rookie from last year. Okay, so they're receiving.
So a lot of rumors are out there saying that AJ Brown's going to be a Patriot June 2nd. Same.
I'll see it when I believe it, and if that happens, Eagles fans will be crying everywhere. And I know
there's going to be a lot of receipts I'm going to post.
I cannot wait for that day. If that happens, it's gonna be fun to see you pull them out. But it's clear that the Giants' most glaring weakness that has not been addressed at all. Well, it sort of has, but the signing
in a similar way corner was addressed.
Yeah, the moves we make were not inspiring at all.
No.
But yeah, no, the interior and defense lines, both sides are just they're the elephant in the room. And Harbaugh even said himself, like, if we're gonna compete with the Eagles in the NFC East, building the trenches is the most critical step towards doing so.
Yeah.
And so far the moves haven't matched that rhetoric whatsoever. We'll start with the offensive line. We brought back Illuminor. Fantastic, but he is a right tackle. Andrew Thomas still on the team. He is a left tackle. So the issue is between those two guys. That's where the issue lies. We have tried to make moves. We tried to get, again, the key word is tried. That's going to be the theme of this segment. We tried to get Elijah Vera Tucker, but that deal fell apart due to the structure of the contract. Apparently, there was a concern there was a risk overall with signing a guy who missed 41 games over the previous 4 seasons. So the former Jets guard signed with Patriots on an unusual deal, apparently, that has a lot of per game roster bonuses. So am I glad we avoided that? Avoided a guy that has gotten hurt a lot over the past few seasons? Sure. But he would have been an intriguing name to have at guard.
No, he would have been. But like at the same time, like I don't fault the Giants for like, all right, we're not going to give you a blank check here, dude. Like we need some insurance, and you just do not come off as that for us.
Yeah, you have not proved to us that you have not proved to the NFL as a whole that you can stay healthy. So
yeah,
that's the Patriots' problem. But we did check in on Wyatt Teller, but we were never willing to come close to the $8 million that he ultimately signed for the Texans per year. So that was kind of disappointing to say the least. So what did we do? That's the real question, right, Brian? Not much. We re-signed Josh Azudu on a 1-year deal. We brought back Evan Neal also on a 1-year deal. Or no, was it 2 years? No, it was a 1-year deal. Yeah, just both re-signings, I should say, not inspiring at the latest. Azudu has always been a developmental project who we've tried to cross-train at both tackle and guard. Honestly, hasn't looked really comfortable at both throughout his Giants career, so that's kind of Evan Neal has been worse, as we all know. The former number 7 overall pick started his career at tackle, played like crap, was moved to guard, but we didn't see him at guard all year last year because he was hurt.
Yep.
Quote unquote,
I don't know if he was hurt or was he just not, good enough to play guard at that point. Like you're like, all right, this is like a more of a development project than we actually realized.
Yeah. So it's a lot of what ifs in terms of what, basically a lot of what ifs in regards to those two signings and how much of an impact they'll have this season. We also brought in Ryan Bates, a veteran, for a visit, but he left the facility unsigned. So right now our right guard depth chart is currently Evan Neal and Jake Kubas. Not exactly inspiring confidence. For all Giants fans here.
No.
Whatsoever. But there are still veterans out there on the market if we want to go out and make a move. There's Joe Bentonio, Kevin Zeitler, a former Giant, we all know, and was impressive during his time here as well. And then we have Greg Van Roten as well, still out there on the market. Apparently, we're searching in the $4 million range for a guard. And of course, the draft is a real possibility for the Giants as well.
Draft. I don't think they would have brought back Van Roten by now. I don't think they want to reunion with Zeitler because considering he's going to be 37 this year, I think this is a draft problem.
Yeah. I feel like for Zeitler, he has something in the tank still. I think he
does, but it's just like, do you really want to take a risk on a 37-year-old guard?
Over Van Roten? Sure.
Over Van Roten, yeah, but like, I would just take the flyer on the young cheap guy.
True.
In the draft.
Would you consider Bo at right guard?
Yeah, 100%. I've talked about Bo a lot moving the guard on this show.
Might as well, and then just I'm thinking about in the draft because like we don't have a 3rd round pick. After our round 2 pick, we don't pick again until the 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where do you address guard like in the late round, day 3, or do you think about taking a guard in round 2, round 2?
Or you can always try trading up. Because think about it, we still don't have a resolution on Kayvon Thibodeau. He might get traded too. So that could open up the door for more day 2 picks.
True. I do expect him to be on the team though for 2026. I ain't gonna lie. I expect him to be.
I hope he does, but like I could see draft day their team call up and be like, oh yeah, we'll give you Thibs.
So I want a day 2 pick. I know the dream of getting a first round pick is obviously dead because who the heck wants who wants to give
no
up
one's giving us first round pick
like that.
But like there's no reason why we can't get a high 3, late 2.
Yeah, why not? Speaking of Thibodeau, the defensive line, that's where the issues are actually the loudest because O-line is okay. Like if we were to go into week 1 with a line of Thomas, Runyon, JMS, Neal, I hate saying that, and Illuminor, it wouldn't be too bad.
It's not the end of the world. It's not the end. That's a line that could be between like the 15 to like the 13 to 19 range. There.
Yeah. Average. Plus, like you mentioned Van Roten. If we're bringing him back, we're bringing back an offensive line that helped us have the 5th best rushing attack in the NFL.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be too bad, I guess. The defensive line, that's where it gets frustrating because unlike our offense, our defense was the opposite in regards to the running game. We allowed a league worst 5.3 yards per carry last season, and if I could recall anything from the NFL from last season. Every episode, every game review we had involved the run defense being ass. I can't count. I forget the number of times I was like, Brian, this was great, but one of the things that stood out to us was us just not being able to stop the run, and we clearly could not. Teams were just gashing us on the interior. Even when we had Dexter Lawrence in there in the game, we still were struggling against the run, and when he was out, all hell broke loose, obviously, as we all know. The current depth chart is as follows. It's Lawrence, Roy Robertson Harris, and second-year player Darius Alexander. We have made 0 moves to add to that interior defensive line. Not even any re-signings. Actually, Raheem Nunez-Roches is a free agent, and we are not planning on bringing him back, it looks like. So, great. It wasn't that great either, but still, just the fact that we have not made any moves in terms of, for that position. Ouch. We tried to sign John Franklin Myers, who was the top interior D-line on the market, but he was never that serious. He signed with the Titans for more than $20 million per year. That is fine by me because I was not going to pay him that much anyways.
Too much.
There's no viable backup or complementary piece that we can trust right now next to Dexter Lawrence. So what can we do? That's the real question.
There is somebody on the roster already. It's Darius Alexander.
True.
I think give him an update and kind of be like, all right, you're gonna take over we talked about this when we drafted him. He's got to be eventually the Leonard Williams replacement that we've been looking for years. And why not? He showed last year in Detroit. He has the ability to rush the quarterback and get good tackles and stuff like that. So why not try him at like left end or right end for the start of the season? Play him next to next to Dex.
I think you can agree. I think it's a lot of Giants fans are kind of just. It's the fact, like Alexander. I like him. Obviously, we drafted him in the 3rd round for a reason. But I think it's the fact that we don't have an established guy behind Lawrence that we can depend on. I think that's like the main concern. Because Roy Robertson Harris is average at best. Alexander is still unproven in his own way. So it'd be nice to have this a veteran piece to.
It'd be nice to have a veteran, but also at the same time, the veteran could be like a guy that holds back Alexander, and if they want to get him to unleash his full potential, maybe it is enough playing time. It's a risk, but it is something like if you want to develop the kid, you gotta give him starting minutes at some point.
True, that is true. So we will see. I think we fully expect Alexander to make it a big impact on this team sooner rather than later. But if we did want to go out there and get a veteran, we can do so. There's guys like Calais Campbell out there who's 40 years old, but he's still a very productive run defender, which would be nice to have in Denard Wilson's scheme. There's Christian Reeder as well, Sebastian Joseph Day, Dalvin Thomason, who's a former Giant himself as well. All of them are
good former Giant
options.
too. I wouldn't forget.
Yes,
he was pretty good back in the day.
He
was a good
sure
second-round pick
was.
for us.
Yeah, and they went to Minnesota, showed out there as well. So why not bring him back? But it seems like the popular name amongst the Giants community seems to be Campbell. So
you're getting the most name recognition. That's why.
That is true. Veteran name.
It's guys in the league. You hear him in Pro Bowls. You hear him in Madden, all that sort of stuff. That's why he's the most popular name.
Yeah, and for him to be his age and still doing the things he's doing, it's pretty impressive. So
it's impressive, but also at the same time, like, do you want? It's very similar with Zeitler. It's like, well, how much do you really have left in the tank, dude? Because you are kind of like you're playing past your expiration date. Do we really want to sign you to this long-term deal? And then we sign you, and then it's like, haha, guess what?
Well, I would go like a 1-year deal with Campbell, and then you mentioned Alexander, give him the first shot at starting next to Lawrence, and then rotate Campbell in, and then you got something going. So
yeah,
I don't mind.
But the problem is, will Campbell take a rotation job role?
Oh yeah. No, at 40 years old, like you just mentioned, he's playing past the expiration date. No one's gonna. Sign him to be like, all right, you're the main starter. Go out there and go out again, buddy. Like, no, it's not realistic whatsoever. But just like we discussed with the O-line, the draft is also in play for the defensive line as well. Guys like Lee Hunter from Texas Tech and Missouri's Dominique Orange are guys that are drawing attention from teams as mid-round picks. So if either are available in round 4 or beyond, might as well give it a shot. We'll see. At the end of the day, the Giants can restructure a few contracts to open up some more cap space if they really wanted to, whether that means Andrew Thomas's contract or Dexter Lawrence's contract. We already restructured Brian Burns already. The team doesn't have much cash, but it still helped in some way, shape, or form. And yeah, the draft is on April 23rd. But again, this team, they really just they need to do something for the interior defensive line, and I think that goes to the same way for the offensive line as well, because I really do not want to go into week 1 with Evan Neal right guard. I think that would cause a lot of havoc in a bad way. We expect this running game to be really freaking good, and we expect our run defense to be so much better than it was these past couple seasons, because the terrorist himself just couldn't fix it or address that whatsoever.
I mean, it did get better when he was gone. Like,
yeah.
If it what Bolin did, it got better.
You couldn't really get worse.
That's not saying much, but like it did get better.
It was a slight improvement, but then again, it's like you can't really get worse than Bolin. But as we all know, the run game lives and dies with the interior offensive line, and on the other side, we have really solid pass rushers in Brian Burns and Abdul Carter, and of course rotating in Thibodeau as well. But edge rushers are only as effective as the interior defensive line being stout. So hopefully we can get that addressed, whether it's in free agency, with the guys that are out there still, or in the draft, or if we really trust Darius Alexander to take that next step, then have at it. But at the end of the day, as we always say, whatever Harbaugh thinks or wants to do, he has the trust of all Giants fans out there, because he is a guy that knows what he's doing. Donna Ponte is a woman that knows what she is doing, managing the cap space. The official reports on Donna Mundi's contract is $3.5 million. Was the base salary, and then it can go up to $10 million with incentives. So the fact that we got 2 receivers to replace Wan'Dale Robinson, who along with Isaiah Likely matched his production from last year.
Yep. It's huge.
That's 3 guys for the price of 1, basically. Pretty impressive. So shout out to those 2. I guess we'll give Joe Shane some credit, but we know what his main role is.
Joe Shane
had
no control over this situation.
I know, he's, of course, he gets the credit because he's the GM, but we know who really got the job.
No, we don't. This John went into Joe's office, put a list of players. He's like, sign these guys. Yes, sir.
Like you're gonna get credit for signing these guys, but just know this.
Like, we're really gonna give Joe Shane credit for signing Isaiah Likely, a player that's been with John Harbaugh's entire career that John Harbaugh drafted.
No,
that was Harbaugh. Harbaugh brought Isaiah Likely to New York.
No,
if you want to, maybe Mooney and Calvin Austin, maybe I'll hear you out, but I don't know.
They seem like Joe Shane moves, low key. The receiver signings that we made, they seem like Joe Shane moves. And what I mean by that is like any moves that we made in terms of like signing guys from Baltimore, whether it was like, Likely or a Stout or Washington, the safety from Baltimore, like those were Harbaugh moves. Those are the guys that like Harbaugh was like, yeah, you're coming with me. Yeah. The smaller signings, that's more of I feel like that's more of a Joe Shane type of thing. And at the end of the day, I think with Shane, it's like what we've seen throughout his time with the Giants is that he's not really known for making big signings per se in free agency, but rather it's the trades that he does. And we didn't see any big time trades from him this year. No. We've seen it in years past, obviously, with the Darren Waller situation. We know how that went. Nothing this year. So Harbaugh here definitely has playing a role in what Shane is doing, but at the end of the day, this team is on paper a lot better than last year for sure. Just a matter of if they can perform on the field. So
yeah.
With that being said, that's it. It's a pretty short episode today. I know on the graphic you guys see, opening day is close. For Major League Baseball, we will not be discussing. We will not be previewing the season today, but there will be a preview episode that is released on Tuesday. So it's gonna be all baseball next week. But I did want to touch on your boys. How you feeling, man? For I know we'll talk a lot more about them next week.
I mean, I'm
about your
feeling
Mets?
well. I'm feeling good. Like I said, turbulent off season, but this team is definitely. I don't want to say they're better. They're just different. You know, it's more. It's a contact heavy. Like last year, we had more power bats with guys like Pete and Jesse Winker, but this year with Bichette and Polanco, it's more power oriented. I'm sorry, it's more contact oriented. It's more hitting with guys in runs and scoring position, which I think we could not do last year. I like it. And you had the ace of Freddie Peralta, McLean, who he looked better in the finals, I would say. Like he definitely had moments where he struggled. Like the home run wasn't great. And then like the Brendan gave up in the second inning on the sac fly. That only happened because he threw a pass ball and allowed a single. But like I would say like let me pull up my scorecard right here. I really have it. In the first inning looked good. The second inning's got 2 strikeouts. Like one of them looking to Gleyber Torres, who just looked confused all day. Like it's a solid outing for him. I'm very excited to see what he can do. Clay Holmes is fine as a 3-man, and in the back rotation, you figure it out with Peterson and Senga and Minaya because Jonah Tong's take one of their jobs by July.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm more focused on the scorecard. People do that still?
Yeah, you don't score games.
I unfortunately I do not. You do it. No, that's fun to do. Again, I don't personally do that, but that's fun to see. So you do it for every game?
No, not every game. Just games I feel like doing.
Okay. And the U.S. final was a game.
I felt like I mean, I'll be completely honest. I'm like, it'd be really cool if I could score score a Team USA winning the championship. If I have like that score, if I have that scorebook, I show my kids when they're like, look, like here's our 2026 World Championship Team USA, and Venezuela won.
Yeah. We'll say though,
I was very confident going to that game. I thought Team USA was going to roll, and they just completely laid an egg. I did a whole breakdown of it on Flushing Faithful. If you want to go listen to that,
go check it out, folks.
Check it out. Podcast.
Yeah, it was not McLean's fault whatsoever. I mean,
no, it's the offense. It's 100% the offense fault.
Yeah, dog.
Pitching was fine.
Zero runs to the first 7 and some change innings.
We had 3 hits all game. 3 hits against Water Rodriguez, who. Or Chris Rodriguez, I forgot the guy's name. Chris, who had a 5 ERA. He had 5 ERA, and we only mustered 3 hits in a lineup that had Judge and Harper and Bobby Witt and Bregman.
I think the criticism of Judge needs to be louder than it is.
It is. Yes, Aaron Judge is not a clutch player. Go look on Fangraphs at his high leverage stats. They are drop-offs.
He's terrible, bro.
They're terrible.
Yes, he's known for the dingers and all those things in the regular season.
171 for his career in the American League Championship Series.
God.
And he's played in 4 of them. So, like, it's a good sample size.
Yeah. He just doesn't show up.
15 games at least.
Yeah, he just doesn't show up. And, that we saw that in the World Baseball Classic where he didn't have that. He's supposed to be the captain of this team, yet the captain did not show up whatsoever. No. And honestly, that is... I know, obviously when you think of the captain, for the Yankees, you think of Derek Jeter. He showed out when the games mattered. We know, or showed up when the games mattered.
That's an interesting thing too. I brought up that Aaron Judge and Derek Jeter are kind of the opposite players when you think about it. Like I've always said, Derek Jeter is a great player. Don't let this get twisted. Derek Jeter would be a Hall of Famer no matter who he played for. I've always said that Derek Jeter is only considered a first ballot, no doubt Hall of Famer because of the Yankees and because of all the success. That if you would have put Derek Jeter on like the Royals or Rockies, he gets into the Hall of Fame, but it's like on his 3rd or 4th attempt. And there's not like this, overwhelming, like story, like, oh my, they're like as a god of baseball. Like he doesn't have that. He was just he was a above average player who had very solid, very good in clutch situations. Aaron Judge is the opposite, whereas no matter what team you put Aaron Judge on, he's a no doubt first ballot Hall of Famer. But when the lights are brightest, he doesn't do what Jeter does. He does the opposite. So it's kind of funny how the Yankees have like captains have like switched.
Yeah, it's I just, he gets all this attention, right, from what he does in the regular season, which is great. But just no one really.
But when you're playing for the New York Yankees, there's a level of expectation if you have to win championships. Like, the Yankees are the Yankees are the biggest sports brand in North America because of their success, because they've won 27 championships, because of all the legends they've had on their team and all the great moments they've had. Earn your pinstripes is a saying. And like Judge doesn't really have that earned pinstripe. Like he's earned his pinstripes through being a captain and the regular season success. But postseason wise, other than that home run he had against the Red Sox this year, which the ball barely stayed fair, he doesn't have. Oh no, it was the Blue Jays. I'm sorry, in Game 3 of the ALDS, that home run he had, which barely stayed fair, he doesn't have that big playoff hit.
Yeah. So we're still waiting on that.
Yeah, and Yankees fans be like, "Oh, Aaron Judge is clutch. He hit a home run when they were down 3-2 to the Orioles on May 30th." Like, well, yeah, it's May 30th, dude.
Yeah, no one cares about
May 30th. May 30th is like, if they lost that game, the Yankees are probably still make the playoffs. They have 94 wins instead of 95.
It is a 162 game regular season. I'm telling you, you are not clutch based off what you do towards the beginning of the season compared to
the only regular season you could be clutch. The only clutch regular season moments you could really have are in like September and October when the playoff chase are at its height.
Yes, sir. That's true. That's when the games are, the regular season is wrapping up, and the standings are the standings matter.
And it could be a moment this could be a moment that propels you to a big run. You're
damn right. And Judge, honestly, can't remember a time Judge hit a clutch dinger during those times of the month. So maybe that changes this year. We don't mean to sound like
maybe Judge all his criticism and he has a big playoffs, but I don't know.
Yeah, we don't mean to sound like Judge haters because we're not. It's just the fact that it's
a valid criticism to have against Aaron Judge. It's a very valid criticism.
You're damn right. And that goes for everyone on that USA roster outside of Bryce Harper.
Yeah, Harper.
Okay, well, look, outside of that homer from a few days ago, he didn't do crap during the tournament anyways. So he kind of deserves some criticism, but he at least kept us in the final, but still.
Yeah.
Mark DeRosa, you suck. I get it. You're working with the restrictions for all your players and especially the pitching staff. I get it. So first off, kind of blame the Padres low key because we could have put Mason Miller in for that 9th inning, but I guess we only could put him in if we were winning to secure the win with the save. So San Diego, you kind of suck.
But at the same time, it should have been like, all right, like if you're tied in the 9th inning, you can bring him in.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was just like, why not instead of who are we putting? Whitlock, was it?
Whitlock, yeah. Who was already probably gassed at that point. They used him so much.
Yeah. So I don't know, just a tough tournament overall. I think I think I wish the scheduling of the tournament was a lot better instead of it.
I think it's coming. I think a change is coming soon. I don't know when it'll be, but
I feel like players will feel more comfortable, being able to play and not have to, and teams will be more comfortable too, letting their players, go in to play for their country and not put too many restrictions on them, and whatnot. But shout out to Venezuela, hell of a dub by them. And it seemed like they cared more compared to the U.S.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they cared more.
So, you can say that for pretty much a lot of the countries that participated in the tournament. So
Italy wanted it more than us.
No doubt about it. So, but yeah, we'll talk a lot more baseball next week in our MLB preview. We'll talk more Mets ball, of course, and there's the NL East and how that looks. Talk about more about the A's, my Sacramento A's, who I can't wait to expect at most an 81 season and maybe a wild card spot. Maybe we'll see. I can't picture a playoff game being played in Sacramento. I really couldn't. because that ballpark just sucks. But anyways, with that being said, anything else that you want to touch on real quick before we head off for the day?
No, shout out to Howie Rose, the Mets radio broadcaster, announced his retirement yesterday, so this will be his final season. So you got to win it for him.
Oh, I guess. We'll see how that goes. I mean, the National League is a tough, tough.
Yeah, but I would love if Howie got a World Series call.
That would be nice.
The dude deserves it.
You know, low key, when you said Howie Rose, I thought you were gonna praise Howie Roseman for a second from the Eagles. I was like, whoa, you're giving the Eagles praise? Is this today? His heart changes, or has a change of heart?
The Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes that day. That day, it's still hadn't game yet.
Nope. All right. Well, fair enough. You know what? I would say the only time I know I've praised Philly before because they deserved it when I've done so.
No, I'll give Philly their flowers when they earned it.
Yeah,
I have on this very show. I gave Philly flowers.
Yes, you have. You have never just been once. Or are you one-sided? Yes, but you have given the Eagles praise when they deserve it. The only time I feel like me and you will both agree on giving Philly praise is that if they win a game that allows us to make the postseason, not the crap they pulled when they pulled their starters against Washington Week 18. When we beat Dallas that game.
When Nate Sudfeld came in, yeah.
I know. And I get it. Did any team from the NFC East deserve to make the playoffs that year? Absolutely freaking not. But we had a chance. And we did our job in beating Dallas to do so.
Yeah.
And then Philly messed it up. So screw you, Philly.
I mean, we did our damnedest not to, because isn't that the game where Wayne Gallman fumbled and like recovered it by sitting on it?
The point is that we won.
Yeah. Okay.
We did our job. Philly did not do their
job.
No,
yeah, we did win that game. We had a heart attack before we won it because you know that was Xavier McKinney's first interception. I think was during that game. I think he picked off Prescott in the end zone.
I do.
And then Wayne Gallman like almost gave every Giants fan a collective heart attack.
I love you, Wayne Gallman. You will always be that. He will always be that running back.
Wayne Gallman was a big. I always said like we don't need Saquon Barkley. We got Wayne Gallman. We're fine.
He was solid.
My pair with someone. You can pair him with a veteran, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, like a power back, you know, lightning, thunder and lightning type of vibes with him and some veteran.
10 years too early.
Yeah, I know. Sadly. But that's okay. That's okay. We have our guys now with Skadaboo and Tracy. Yeah, shout out to Jackson Dart. Him and his girlfriend posting a new post came out of them the other day. Super adorable. Love that our franchise quarterback has his girl, and I can't wait for him to make all of us Giants fans happy again when the 2026 season begins. But with that being said, that will do it for season 3, episode 86. Pretty short, not too much to talk about. We had March Madness, we have the Giants. Talk about a little bit as well. Yeah, I mean that's what we do over here. We make it work. But yeah, next week on Tuesday, a full MLB preview episode will be released, so be on the lookout for that. We'll be discussing all 30 teams in about an hour and a half. So get ready for that. And yeah, we will go from there. With that being said, though, you can follow us on social media. As always, you can follow me at Nathan_124. You can follow Brian at BrianPeaches1016. You can check out his podcast, The Flushing Faithful, as well on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can find our podcast page on social media. TikTok is at 3rd and 10 Podcast, and on Twitter and Instagram, it's at 3rd and 10 Pod. And if you want the audio version of the show, check it out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts as well. Shout out to our sponsor, SeatGeek. Use the code BellyUpSports for $20 off your first purchase. And you can find my article work, Brian's article work, and all of our other amazing writers and podcasters at BellyUpSports.com. We'll see you guys back here on Tuesday for another episode. And then, until then, enjoy day 2 of March Madness. And hopefully your brackets stay perfect. Newsflash, it will not.
No.
Bye.